It's a lengthy process for everyone involved, where we look at all the different approved vendors and things, and then we look at what our students need and what the teachers feel will be the most helpful resources for the classroom. And so we decided on Savis, My View for grades K through 5, and we did HMH, which is Houghton Mifflin Harcourt for grades 6 through 8. There's a list of approved vendors on the DOE's website, and we welcomed them all in, reviewed them all. We had a great committee of teachers that were really dedicated to the process. And after reviewing them all, we concluded that those were the best ones that met the science of reading requirements, as well as teachers' needs for high ability kids or kids that need interventions and reteaching skills and things. So we're excited about that, but it is a huge investment. And you're talking about the end of the school year and then the summer. Our teachers spend a lot of time in professional development to know how to best utilize all of those resources.
Because you kind of got to think it's like a whole new course coming in that they're going to have to learn to teach that.
Yeah, science of reading is science of reading for a reason. There's 5 main components, but we've always had a curriculum map, and then you've got the iLearn checkpoints that tell you what standards will be tested at certain times of the year. So they've got to align that. So they've got to spend a lot of time cross-referencing with, okay, we know the students are going to be assessed on this. Where's it found in the textbook? And so how can we map out our school year?
There's a lot of meshing that has to happen.
There is, yeah.
How frequently do you guys turn over the curriculum?
Well, that's a really good question. It used to be that Indiana was on a 6-year cycle. And every 6 years you went through an adoption. So one year it would be reading, and then the next year it would be math. And so they had it mapped out for us. Of course, there was parents paid book rental fee. Well, that's no longer. And then when we went to the one-to-one devices, the money that we were using for the textbook was now used for the tool, for the device that the students are using. So there's no funding in that area like there used to be.
It has been a complete change in
yes,
how things
used
to be.
It's all included in the education fund and in the curriculum supplies. And then our poor finance department has to divide that between reading, science, technology, or math. And there's a lot of coding, and there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work financially. And all our teachers are engaging books or curriculum guides or resources for them so that they're not pulling from here, there, and everywhere. And that was our main focus in getting one. Long story short, I've been here 16 years, and I think this is the first formal reading adoption that we have done, because we were using free open source resources available. And all of our teachers are Orton Gillingham trained, which really helps them with the science of reading, foundations of reading and things. But they were still spending so much time finding their own resources. Having this one resource will get everybody aligned and give us that scope and sequence that we need to know that those skills are building year after year. So we truly are very, very excited, very grateful, and again, a lot of work is ahead of us.
Absolutely. Was there anything with what you have chosen for each age groups that stood out that made you go with that company?
Well, I think, honestly, I believe that the teachers are the professionals in the classroom, and they really have a say because they're the ones using it every day. And so I brought them all in, and I was very clear with the vendors, like, you're not to contact teachers individually. You're not to bring gifts or goodies or treats and try to entice them with, all the peripherals. We want to look at the nuts and bolts of the true substance of the device or the equipment that we're using, and what this textbook company provided over others was the online resources as well as the hard copy content. And so when our teacher said this is the best one that meets our needs, that's what we went with.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing how that continues to grow Greensburg, because we know scores already you guys are outstanding with those, so this can only enhance.
That's exactly it. We have, and we are really celebrating those. I read scores that are already coming in, and now we're testing second graders even before the third grade, and we've got really, really good scores. I think they might still be embargoed, so I don't want to talk too soon. But we have a lot to celebrate, and that all goes back to truly the instructional leaders of administrators we have, the teachers in the classroom every day, and then all the support staff that truly helps with interventions and reteaching skills and things for students. So we can only get better.
It takes a village, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
It does. Speaking, we've been talking about the new school year, but registration is already open.
Yes, we've had registration online. We came in, I think, last month and talked about preschool registration and talked about our kindergarten having their open house and things. But I really want to encourage people that if you haven't registered online, you can go to Greensburg's website, www.greensburg.k12.in.us. On the bottom right-hand side, you'll see Enroll Now, and you can follow those links and set up your account and get your student enrolled. However, I also understand some people are not technology savvy, or they would prefer having someone help them with it. We do have an online portion available now, but we'll also have a day this summer where people can come into the school and someone will be there to help them with that registration process should they have any questions. That date is scheduled for July 21st from 8 to 5 at the individual schools. So if you've got an elementary person, you can go to elementary or whatever.
Go do it in person, the old-fashioned way,
That's right. As long as we get it done. But the sooner we know, the better it allows us to plan, honestly, and get class lists together. And if there's any summer communications or anything, we want to get those to the family sooner than later.
Now, if you are a student that lives out of district and you're interested in coming to Greensburg, how does that process work?
That is, we are welcoming all families to come to Greensburg. However, you do have to fill out a separate form, and that has to be turned in by June 1st.
And that's a hard deadline, right?
That is a hard deadline. That's pretty secure. And so I would say that's also available online, or you can come into the central office located at 1312 West Westridge. It's right there behind the dentist office off 421. So we're open 7:30 to 4. And you're welcome to come in and fill out that form. It's one page. It's very simple.
And you can do that now.
You can do it now. But yeah, the deadline, you have to do it by June 1st if you want to attend Greensburg schools for the 26-27 school year.
It's just so much planning to get ready for school these days, you know?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
There's lots of pieces to it. You did have a survey that was went out to parents and guardians, or will be going out. Tell us about that.
Yep. So we started this a couple of years ago. We wanted everyone to truly have a voice and have their thoughts and opinions shared. It gives us a chance to celebrate the great things going on in the schools or room for improvement or growth. But honestly, we send one out to our staff. You know, like, what keeps you here? Why do you choose to work for Greensburg schools? What should we know? What professional development do you need? So we send one out to the teachers, and then we'll send one out to parents and guardians. And then we also survey our high school students, just because we want to know, you know, you're in the home stretch, right? You're your springboard, and you're getting your pathway plan and things. So high school students, you know, however the classes helped you, the AP classes, the dual credit, the CTE, the work-based learning, always wanting that feedback. Truly, it just makes us better. And we started a few years ago, and so you'll see that probably a link provided on Parent Square, which is our main way to communicate with families. And so be looking for that. We'll get that sent out here in the next week.
And so you get that information directly from a parent or directly from a student because they've experienced it.
100%. And, you know, I always say, you know, you can't complain if you don't vote, and you can't make the schools better if you don't have a way. And this just gives you an avenue and a path to be able to share that information.
And what an opportunity for you and Mr. Hunter to be able to look at those things and say, okay, this is the consistency or the theme that we're seeing that needs addressed.
100%. And that also helps, like, I write all the grants for the district. And so when I see what the teachers say they need, what the parents would like to see, the high school, you know, we're always planning at least a year ahead for courses to add or to drop based on numbers of kids that want to enroll. So, you know, finding out what they're truly interested in and what they want as a career pathway, that gives us a chance to build that in.
So do we know when that's coming out yet, this survey?
It'll be within the week.
Within the week, okay.
Yep.
So keep your eyes peeled, right?
Absolutely.
You guys were featured in one of the magazines, in the Best View magazine.
Yeah, and so I don't know a lot about Best View magazine, but I was like, And so they originally reached out to Mr. Hunter. I think he thought it was a sales pitch or something, and didn't give, you know, he's old school. He's not going to promote too much, and, you know, and they kept on him. And so they ended up interviewing us, and had a great feature, honestly. And I was like, oh, it talks about our kids. It talks about all of our programming. It talks about the why behind why we all come to work, right?
Sure.
We truly are invested in that. But within that conversation and within them pulling information about Greensburg schools, we received notice this week that Greensburg Community Schools had been selected as the best managed school district in Indiana for 2026.
Congratulations. That is huge.
It is huge. And, when you talk about best managed, you're like, who's managing?
Right.
And that starts everywhere, right? It's not one person, it's not one department, but huge kudos when you talk about management and managed. I think about finances, I think about the planning, I think about the facilities. All of those things go in to make our great schools even better, right? And so Andrea Phillips is our director of finance. She's got a couple employees in the office that also do accounts payable and payroll, and we all want paid, right? So Gail McIntyre is amazing at what she does, as well as Sarah Dickey's new to us with accounts payable, and that business department is a well-oiled machine, and they keep it working very well. And of course, Mr. Hunter, he's a legend as superintendents go, and so he's very, very knowledgeable in all parts of the district, and not just the finance or the instruction or the it's a little bit of everything. And then there's Tim Kane, director of maintenance, and you talk about cost saving and planning and things, and so when he comes to you and he wants to redo all the lighting because you can save so much money on light bulbs,
sure,
things like that. The HVAC system, automatically shutting it down at night or on the weekends when people aren't in the buildings. All of those things help to manage a more efficient building, and then our bus drivers, you've got Travis there who does an amazing job as the director of transportation. And so just it really is just a nice recognition for all the work and all the people doing things behind the scenes that people probably don't think of when they think of a school.
I always think it's, you kind of get to this point of the year and you stop and you look at each part that it to produce a school, and you've listed all of these people, and then you go on into a school and you have your administrators there, to your cafeteria ladies and your custodians. It's amazing what it takes to produce a school.
Connie Million is in charge of our food services and our nutrition, and she has so many people that she manages in those 3 buildings, and the orders and keeping compliant with all the rules and regulations and the funding. And so there isn't one person. There's I could go on and on. Scott Hirschauer is our director of technology, and he's got people that work in each building to keep the technology up and running, but he's got to oversee the infrastructure and all of the contracts and renewals. And so again, it's not one person. It truly is a well-managed district. So it was really nice to be recognized as the premier district, best managed in Indiana. So
huge congratulations, you guys. That's a very big honor.
Thanks.
It's just hard to believe we're winding down to 7.5 weeks, I think, of school left. Right? This is a little bit of panic time.
Not really. It's celebrations, honestly. At every turn, it seems, especially, seniors, the parents always celebrate senior year and all those senior moments on social media and things. But when you start getting to, like, when I get the invitation for academic banquet, which is held next week, that's when you really start thinking, okay, this really is like starting to wind down for those students in their K-12 career.
Absolutely.
Right? But that night, we always have a local alumni come in and speak to the kids. We have a nice dinner, and the parents get to see their students receive either academic or technical or both honors in their diploma track. And so it truly is like all their 12 years, 13 years of being in Greensburg Community Schools are now coming down to this diploma, right? And so that's exciting. And then besides the academic night, Christy Tebby really saw a need to celebrate all seniors, not just the ones that get the academic technical honors, but those kids that are going into the military, those kids that already have jobs planned for after school in the CTE. And we have amazing partners, and all the universities will come. And the kids get celebrated, and they get to go get their pictures taken with their person, or the military branches have people come. And
how amazing is that?
Oh, yeah. And then the community, they drum up all kinds of great giveaways. And so the kids go to each table, and they say hi to people, and then there's drawings, and they're walking away with, CD, you say CD player. What am I talking about? like DVD players, the microwaves. They get all kinds of things to take to their dorm rooms
for their next step of life.
Yes, whatever it may be. They were excited. Yeti coolers. they go above and beyond to really celebrate that senior celebration. And that is Friday, May 1st, 10 in the morning. I think Ivy Tech will come in and also recognize those kids that are doing early college and things. So yeah, it's a lot of celebrations. And then another part of my world is the Greensburg Community Schools Education Foundation. I'm a non-voting member, but they do everything for teachers and for students. So why wouldn't I be involved, right? And the way that I can help with that is through Walk the Plank. It's our annual 5K. It's also a family fun run where they do like a mile around the track at the end of the 5K. There are prizes given away to the top 3 males, top 3 females, and it's just a wonderful morning. It's the one day. It's prom day. That's the negative, but May 2nd, we start early for Walk the Plank, and then we end that night with prom at the high school, at the elementary school. So,
a full day of fun, though.
It is a full day of fun surrounded by community, people, partners, families, all engaged in different aspects because you've got that after prom committee that those parents work tirelessly all
year long
to get ready for those after hours of after prom to ensure that the kids have a safe, fun night.
That's right. Prom will be that day as well, May 2nd.
May 2nd.
Always a big night for the
and
high schoolers.
I did not bring in all the May events because I knew I would miss something from one of the schools and somebody would be upset. So they can all reach out. Parent Square is a great way for us to communicate. It's always on our, we give newsletters as well, and it's on our website, all the dates coming up. But every school will have their end of the year celebrations and award banquets and things. So be looking for those to be shared as well.
Such a good time to celebrate.
It is.
So much happening. So going into next year, we've got registration is open.
Yes, registration is open.
Make sure preschool still accepting registration. Do we know?
Still accepting. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we still have spots in our pre-K. And I just received notice yesterday that they're even they opened up like the application for families to apply for the voucher if they need childcare paid for or whatever. So the state has a system. We can help them with that. So I'll get those links available for preschool. Of course, our preschool is free of charge for families. It's not free. Of course, it costs us. We have licensed teachers and we have bus drivers and bus routes and things that we have to fund as well. But those vouchers do help offset that cost a little bit. So I encourage all of our families, regardless of income, fill it out and see what we get. So I'll have some more information about that. But yeah, Pirate Preschool is up and running, and we truly have celebrated 5 very successful years, and we're grateful for those and want to keep that continuing.
I know Mr. Hunter talked a lot when he was in last month that the amount of kids you've had to retain that have now been to preschool, they go on to kindergarten and they're going on to first grade. You're not having to retain very many of those children anymore.
We're not retaining. We truly have not. I think we went from like 25 a year to 1. And then, the beautiful thing, too, is that, we assess the kids and see their growth and make sure that they truly are kindergarten ready. And they really are excelling. They're meeting or excelling and going above. So it is a great opportunity. Every student, I think every child needs a preschool experience just for the social, emotional, all of those things so that they can have that in place a little bit before they get to kindergarten and start working on the academic expectations.
It's really preparing to go to kindergarten. It
100%.
Very much so is.
Yeah.
And another unique aspect to your preschool is you do offer transportation if you're in the
if
district.
You're in district, yes,
Yeah.
if you're in district and you fill it out and we get it scheduled sooner than later. Vicky works. She's orchestrating, let me tell you, bus routes with bus drivers and getting kids here, there, and everywhere. But they get picked up and dropped off for our half-day programs Monday through Friday. It's 8 to 10:30, or no, 8:30 to 11, or 12 to 2:30. And so we have 2 different programs. So if AM's better or PM's better for the families, that's great. And so we truly encourage everybody to apply so that we really can meet the needs of kids in Greensburg Community Schools District.
You guys have had a great year. I know it's been really busy and full of so much good. You had your online school this year.
Oh,
and
what a
that
success.
Well exceeded what everybody thought.
It truly did. It exceeded all expectations, and I really can't say enough about Jennifer Bowles and Diane there. They make the students feel welcome and a part of a group, even though they're doing online schooling. They've worked tirelessly to build relationships with the students and their families, overseeing and checking, and the kids are having a lot of success, and the families seem to enjoy it. And I know those numbers are higher than we expected, and we anticipate them to be even higher for next year. So
If someone does want to enroll in the online school versus in person, do they still just go to the website to do that?
Absolutely. It's the same registration link. It says enroll now at the bottom right-hand side of our website, and you can sign up for the virtual school as well.
All right. Well, kudos to you guys for such a great school year. I know we'll see you again in May, but so much good stuff coming up. Again, Best Managed School District for 2026. A great big congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Registration's open, so get those kiddos signed up, right?
Can't wait to see them.
All right. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. It's 10:33 on Tree Country 1330.